Okay, good afternoon. Welcome back to Mad Dog TV. We're going to go over CrossFit Open 13.4. And the two things that we're going to do, well, I'll tell you the one secret to this workout, and that's protect this area right here. Because when you're doing the toes to bar, this is going to want to get extended and the hips are going to roll forward. And then when you do your cleans, this is going to want to bend and round like that. So you're just kind of slowly just moving that hip joint against your spine very slowly back and forth in the same way that you would take a piece of metal and just bend it until it breaks. Right? So make sure that if you be mindful of this is where you're going to be strong throughout the workout, then you'll be able to prepare accordingly. So I'm going to prepare according to me. I'm going to write a little generic warm-up on the website, and then you're a little bit on your own because hopefully you know what your issues are. So if you're one of those people who's at the bottom of the squat and one leg goes in like this, or maybe both legs, I would work on that first. And that would mostly be some internal rotation, stuff like this. I would roll this either with a rolling pin or a foam roll, both sides of that hip. It's hard to know which one is which. Test always, just by getting into a deep squat, making sure that you can get down in there, spread your knees out a little bit. If your foot is, make sure that your feet are pretty straight, you can twist out. Test the deep squat, because when you do the power, right, it's less, but still it'll be bomb-proof. Here's the deal on this workout. The best clean and jerk you're going to be doing is the first couple, and then after that is going to go to hell in a handbasket. So make sure that you prep so that your first ones are good, because the rest ones are going to go bad according to how good that first one is. Alright, so first thing that we're going to do, just a quick demo of the warm-up. We're going to do some running, rowing for about 5 minutes. Come back, take your foam roller. Again, if you're one of those people who is hard to keep your knees out, then I would right through here, 45 degrees right through here, and a little bit through here, but it's mostly probably going to be right here, and then obviously right into down here like this. I'm not going to do that, but well, I'll do that really quickly. You're going to be here. You're just going to go straight down the middle, starting from your knee, very gently and slowly. And then pretend I go just go all the way up to the hip and all the way up to the top of your hip. Start over right here. Right there. Now, these still might be tender from last week's workout, so be aware that they might need some extra work. So plan on doing your warm-up a little bit. If that's the case, plan on doing the warm-up, taking a little bit longer for the warm-up. All right. The warm-up that I have is 25 minutes. So you do a little foam roll. I like this little section right here. That the toes to bar is really hard on this upper shoulder area. So you get right in here to the armpit and then down just a little bit. You're going to do this, you're going to do this, back and forth. The next thing that we're going to do, take this foam roller, and then what we're going to do is get this right back here, arms out. Then you're going to take your hips up, get nice and tight, so connect the pelvis to here. We'll show you just a little bit of drill after that, just how to do that, make that happen. But here, and you're just going to push that whole thing down. You're going to press up just a little bit on your hands.
So you're pulling your ribs down.
And you're pulling your ribs down. And that's the position. You're already starting to get, I like this stretch a lot because you're already starting to be tight with the abs and learn how to be in this position. Like Kelly Starrett says, organize that section and still breathe.
Show us what it's like without pushing your ribs down.
You don't want to do that.
Okay.
That's definitely something that you don't need to practice. You need to practice being tight with your hands overhead.
Okay.
All right. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take, I like this hip floss thing. So band here, high hip. Arch your back as hard as you can. Get down in here. There's two ways to do this. You can just floss this whole thing like this with your feet close together. You're mimicking that position that you're going to be in over on the toes to bar. You move your hips backwards that way, and then you can move one foot forward, and then just bend your knee and straighten your knee. You can move this back. You can let the bar band come a little bit forward of your heels, and then you can bend and straighten. Just play around with that, find out the ugliest, nastiest places, and then floss through them. And finally, if you have any hip flexor issues, that's going to be super important because doing that motion a bunch of times is just hard on the hip flexors. Let me just finish up with this part in your warm-up and including this tightness between your rib cage and your pelvis. And you can see that, so it might look like I'm kind of faking this, but it's not really. So I'm here like this, I pick up here, hip to 90. Then all I'm going to do is the standard test, actually, like if you were to go to physical therapist, or one standard test that K-Star actually likes to do. You come up here like this leg is right here, and then all you're going to do to test that hamstring mobility is just do this. This is how I'm going to be when I clean, right? With a straight back, neutral spine. Oops, sorry. So here to here. Now, I'm going to take this over my head, then I'm going to pull, be tight. Now I can straighten it. Right? So it's important to get this tight. Without tightness, from here, your hamstrings has a message that says don't straighten out all the way, don't give that person full range of motion because they don't really know what they're doing. Especially when weight gets over their head. So, next thing we're going to quickly go over, I'm not going to go over the toes to bar because I don't really know how to do them that well, and I'll send you a link to Carl Powley, he's the master of it. So learn from the best. The next thing is, super quickly, we're going to work on cleans. What I would say is, when you get into your cleans, you're going to be in this deep position here to start off. When you're doing your mobilization and stuff, make sure that you test this bottom position. So the two positions that we're going to test again are overhead neutral hips hanging from the bar, and then down to the bottom position here. When you're going to get ready to do your cleans, people have been asking me like, what if I can't do 135? What if I can't do 95? Here's what I would say. Get a rack. Obviously, I'm just going to fake this because I don't have a rack. I'm too lazy to turn around. So what I'm going to do is have my elbows up here. I'm going to try to front swap this weight. Let's pretend this is you're a woman. You don't know if you can do 95. I'm going to front swap that thing 5 times. From there, let's say you pass that test. Everything looks good. Your shoulders are up, chest out. Second thing I'm going to do, clean pull. I want the pull is going to make sure you have some high velocity, pull with straight arms. Pass that test, here's the next test. Find somebody with a camera, iPhone, whatever, and then what you're going to do is have that person film you so that you can see it later. And when you pull, you're going to do a high pull next. When you do that, you're going to launch that bar up with your hips, see how high it goes. Look in the pictures. Make sure that you can get that bar up to around here, maybe even as low as your xiphoid process. If you can do that, then the next step is to take a bar and then just do some tall cleans. So just right in here, all you're going to do is just drop underneath it.
Show a tall clean.
Show a tall clean. So here, so if you can get all those 3 things together, all those things are good to go. You're ready to do a clean. I'm not going to demonstrate the clean too much because but I'll just do one last thing and we'll hit it. So, last thing on the clean, the secret to this, to keeping your back straight, is bringing your head up this way so you can make sure that your back stays straight. If you're too much this way, head gets out of position, it's easy to get the back rounded. You want to make sure that when you are when you're starting to lift, your shoulders drive that hinging movement up. Power clean. And then the jerk. And then down. So quick and dirty, going over the clean and the preparation to do the workout. If you want to learn how to do the clean, I'll show you a link to a video that we posted the other day on Facebook. It was really instructive, and people seem to get a lot of information out of that clean. So thanks again, good luck on 13.4, and we will see you next week for 13.5. All right, good luck.